I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. Former VTuber, current human being? God, she's so pretty. Oh my god. It was back in early 2024 when I went to an idol concert in Japan on a whim because of my VTuber Oshi who graduated. Needless to say, I got hooked. I think we like idols. After meeting and talking to 2 English-speaking idols there, I realized every single idol has a story, be it why they chased this dream, their ups and downs, and even their future after all this. And that's what I'm here to do. To learn more about idol culture, listen and talk to idols around the world, be it from Australia to Japan to here in the US, and to give them a platform to tell their story. Every idol has a dream and a story to tell. This is IDOLEYEZ. Tonight on IDOLEYEZ, it's an encore as Chérie Ifẹ joins the show after more than a year. Tune in as we talk about her most recent projects and her tours in Taiwan and Japan. All eyes on me. IDOLEYEZ, episode 78, Chérie Ifẹ. Is it gonna load in? It loads in. Wow.
Yay!
Hello, everyone. I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. This is Mighty Eggy Drago with IDOLEYEZ, episode 78, with our guest for tonight. She is now a 2-time guest on the show. She is a singer. She is a songwriter. She is probably one of the most unique Kaigai idols in the scene. This is Chérie Ifẹ. Pew, 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 pew.
Yay! Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, it's been what? The last time we talked, well, we talked at US Idol Fest. The last time we had IDOLEYEZ was right before Northwest Idol Fest. And that was October 2024. And now it is currently January 2026, so more than a year has passed.
Yes.
And
I had to think about it. I was like, what month is it?
but you have done quite a lot of stuff in between the time from Northwest Idol Fest to now. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. We have a lot to talk about.
Have a lot to talk about. But let's I guess we'll talk about something that has happened more recently. Let's talk about Taiwan, because you had you were on tour sponsored by Fortune Ferret, I'm pretty sure, to go to Taiwan. You had 4 performances there?
It was 4 days, but it was 5 performances total.
I see. How I had No Face No Reality on, but like I had it like a brief brief description of how the scene is there, but like from an outsider going in, how is the Taiwanese idol scene there?
I would say it's pretty similar to Japan's scene in a few aspects. The live house, they have the ability to utilize live houses in the area, so they will actually have, designated exclusive like idol events they have large stages, the whole PA team. It's very professional. So I was a little like slightly intimidated by it. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, they're for real here. It's for real. So I think a lot of, I think Taiwan scene has really, it's very advanced. It is. They're really into it. And I feel the love for idol music, and I feel the love for idol culture. So yeah, they have live houses. The crowds, the audiences are very similar too. Very fun, very very fun. They're still like the wotage. There's still, there's so much energy, and they're so friendly. Like even with me as somebody who's coming from a totally different country, I felt like the audience was so welcoming. They were so welcoming. It was very nice. I loved it there. I really did.
Let's talk about like your first performance there. You flew over there. Where was your first performance at?
So we had this larger live house. Oh, and for right now I'm forgetting the name of it, but I'm gonna post it. I think so I'm forgetting the name of the live house, but it was one of the bigger ones, and that event. Oh my gosh, I was surprised at the turnout because I spent a lot of my time in America before I went over there worrying about whether or not I would even have an audience. But we ended up like it was amazing. It was amazing turnout. Afterwards, when we did Bupan, I was so freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, there was an actual like line for the Bupan like around the live house.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, yo, like it was amazing. It was an amazing for the first day. I was just like, yes, yes.
how like what was your set list like, and how many like minutes did you have to perform?
So I had I think it was 20 minutes, 20 minute set list. I did a lot of the newer, more, I think I wanted to do the more popular songs because I feel like even with that assortment, it kind of gives a good peek into the variety in my discography. So I did like Ritukan Virus. I did, of course, I did Idol Riot. I had to do Idol Riot. I did Ai Tai. So a lot of the popular songs, but that still I think gave people a peek into what my general sound is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like you said beforehand, like you were worried that you didn't, you were worried that you wouldn't have an audience there, and like,
I was because I'm a small, like, to begin with, right?
right,
The scene in the US it's still it's new. It's very new and it's still
right,
growing. And I still consider myself a very like small performer, small artist. So to go over to a completely different country, of course, I was trying to be realistic. I was like, ain't nobody coming to. I was like, I was like, nobody's coming to this. But at that time, I really wanted to establish a connection with Taiwanese idol fans. So I went out and I did a lot of research and I looked up a lot of the groups that are currently like popular there. And I looked into them. I started, writing about the groups that I liked, making posts on Instagram, making posts on Threads, talking about the different groups that I liked, and posting about myself. And I was doing this all while getting help from my manager. He was helping me translate everything into Taiwanese Mandarin. So I was posting consistently, and then by the end of it, I was very surprised. I was looking at the analytics for that account that I was using, Threads, to post in Mandarin Taiwanese, and I got like, by the end of it, it was like 130K people had viewed those posts. And that was very surprising. Yeah, the reach was so, I was like, what? And I really think, again, I think that's because Taiwan scene, the idol scene there is a little bit larger. I feel like it's bigger than ours, just because I think it's just they're in such close proximity to Japan, obviously.
right.
So it's easier, and it's easier to fly artists back and forth. So their scene is a little bit larger. So I think that the reach was a little bit easy. It was easier to reach an audience there. So by the end of it, I did have enough people that were like interested in what I was doing to come and actually see the shows.
Like, I remember like first discovering the Taiwanese scene through Jared. Jared, shout out Jared, owner of Fortune Ferret. But I through him I realized that like Threads is super duper popular in Taiwan. Like, it's not an Instagram, no Twitter, no like other SNS. It's just Threads. So I'm like, wow, that's very unique that they just use that.
It's all concentrated there. It is.
So, during that performance, who were the other like performers that were like around you?
Oh my gosh, we had Setsuna. I was like, I felt like I was, I was a near celebrity. I was like, when we were backstage, I was like, should I talk to her? But she was very friendly. She was very nice. We had a couple other groups. My personal, I feel like, well, I don't want to say, I'm not gonna say that I have any favorites. I'm not gonna say that I have any favorites. However, I was very charmed by Refuzz, and they're a group that also kind of identifies as like a gyaru group, and they also do rock music.
Right.
But they're a newer group that was there, and they were so cute. Everybody was so friendly. I have to say this. I have to preface this by saying every single group that I spoke with, every solo artist that I worked with in Taiwan was so friendly, just like the audience, so friendly, so welcoming. So I felt very at home. I felt very I felt very comfortable.
Being there and watching those performances, watching those Taiwanese idols, like, what did you take in from watching them?
A lot, a
A
lot.
lot.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I was super inspired by was just the crowd interaction. I thought that they were really, again, so charming and so friendly, but I think that also like showed in their performances because their ability to connect with the audience and get everybody really riled up and really excited. Oh my gosh, it was like second nature to all of them. And it really stuck with me. And I was like, I know, I think sometimes people, when they go to shows, not just idol shows, but just like any music concert, people might feel a little shy and a little bit afraid to really get into it and get loud and stuff. But I want to harness those skills, and I want to be able to make people feel comfortable enough to be themselves when
Right.
they're in the audience and do and just feel free. So I think that the Taiwanese groups were really good at that.
Good. I mean, like, it is good to like being in a new environment, seeing all these idols that are like in a different, scene, and just watching how they operate. It's interesting to see, especially like as a viewer who went to Japan and just
Yeah.
going to like different scenes in America. It's very night and day, but like you can take in like the different ways they perform and like the different skills they have.
Yeah, no, everybody, I think everybody has like something that they're super, super good at. And I think, again, because Taiwan is because everybody was so just unbelievably friendly, I think that that's the reason why they have those skills to be able to kind of, again, just connect with everyone in the audience. I really love that. I did.
You did say like there was like a long line for checking or during Bupan, right? So how was interacting with I guess Taiwanese fans with like the language barrier, if there was one?
For me, the thing is I spent some time when I was younger living in Chicago's Chinatown. So I actually picked up some Mandarin while I was living over there. So for speaking, I actually had some like basic knowledge under my belt. Not the best. Like I'm definitely not fluent by any means. But that kind of helped. On top of the fact that a lot of the Taiwanese fans, they also speak Japanese and English. So yeah, so we were kind of just like communicating in this like hilarious like mix of the three. It was really like, and whenever I was doing like MC during the actual shows, I was also like just like rotating between the three languages. But that was also happening at their show. It wasn't just me. It was everybody. We were all like just there was English, there was Japanese, there was Mandarin. It was just everywhere. So that's kind of how it worked. It worked. It worked
It
fine.
worked. I was curious because like being being in a different culture, and like sometimes I remember like, ooh, what was it? Barry went to Japan. Barry had some conversational Japanese, and like she could still like talk with a Japanese fan. So I was like wondering if you had that same
Yeah,
situation.
I think that like when you have the common denominator of just like loving idol and music and like just loving the culture, even if there is a barrier, I feel like it's still like something that people could kind of navigate as long as you're, again, as long as you have those people skills. But yeah, it was just, it was just It was funny. I wish I could. I wanted to. I was like, can somebody please? I don't know if there's anybody that's gonna be comfortable with me recording our conversation. I couldn't find somebody, but I was like, one day, I was like, that was too funny. That was too funny.
So 5 performances. What would you consider your favorite one, or the one that really sticks out in your head?
Well, the first one, the larger stage, the larger performance, and again, I'll find the name of that venue. That stuck out with me just because it was so, again, the experience with having so many people come to see me was just like it was a shock to the system, but I was very happy at the same time. That was very memorable, but I did I did one of those shows at La Fia Maid Cafe. And that kind of gave me an opportunity to do something a little bit more intimate since it is like a smaller stage. Everybody's a lot closer. It was a little more calm, subdued. And I had Bupan. It was like every 2 songs. So I would perform 2 songs on the stage, and then I would go back into the audience and kind of like do the check-in and mingle with the people that were coming to see me. And I feel like that interaction was even more memorable simply because I was able to spend more time chatting with everybody and really getting to know the Taiwanese fans, what they enjoyed about the performances, what they enjoyed about idol culture in general. So I think that actually, surprisingly, the Maid Cafe stuck out to me a lot.
Like, in your preference, would you rather be performing with like a smaller crowd or like a gigantic one?
I feel like I like the small venues. I think I do. But you know what? I think like there's a lot of like mainstream artists that kind of yearn for that as well. Because I do know a lot of like Japanese artists that are really big in Japan that will have these large arena shows, and then they'll come to like United States and they'll do shows at like these smaller venues and say, oh my god, like they'll say, oh my gosh, I miss that. That's like the old days, you know, like we used to do shows at smaller clubs and smaller gigs. And I kind of understand that now, because again, it's a little bit more intimate. You're able to kind of face the crowd, you know, one-on-one, you know, very, very close, and kind of gauge the reactions and feed off of each other's energy a little bit easier that way.
I remember, might have been a couple months ago, but like Crystal K, who I think she's like half black, half Japanese, and like something in between. But like she had a US tour, and you know, she's used to like performing in probably sold out arenas, but now she's like in like very smaller venues. But seeing like the recordings and videos of the performances, they're like I guess like the closeness is very much well warranted. I guess it's pretty good to have.
It's very warm, and I think the audience, obviously, they love that too, right? Because imagine you're a fan of a really big artist, or any artist really, and it's like being there in that smaller, you know, at that smaller venue versus being at an arena where you could be rows and rows and rows back, you know. You can't even, all you see is a little ant on stage. So I think from both sides there's kind of that need or that want to have those, you know, smaller performances.
So Taiwan, 5 performances. You performed at a Maid Cafe. Were there any other, I guess, unique venues that you performed at?
We had a smaller one too at an art center. It was like the final one. And it was an a community. It was like more like a community art center. So it was a little bit more reminiscent of the some of the standalone events I've done for idols in the Midwest.
Right.
So that was fun. But I met some really cool. More everybody being so friendly. There were a few groups there that were just amazingly talented. I had to make a list. I added everybody. I added everybody on Instagram, and I was following everybody. And I need to just make a list. These are more of my recommendations for people to go and listen to. But that was also really fun because again, that was another like smaller venue. So I really liked that one too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like again, I keep remembering the maid cafe also because that was the first time I've ever worked at a maid cafe.
You actually
I,
did like maid work there? Or
I have the uniform.
mm,
I have the uniform, and I was doing a lot of like with the Bupon again. Have you been to a maid cafe for
I
like
have
Idol Fest
not.
before?
Nope.
Oh, it's a little different because you're doing the Bupon in between songs and you go out into the audience. Everybody's sitting and eating.
Mm,
And everybody is kind of just relaxing and you know they'll have their beverages and they're just chilling and stuff. So you go to their table and you do the checky at the table. So you
oh,
just kind of like kneel with them and you're like talking to them and kneeling with them, doing the checky, decorating the checky as they're like sitting and chatting. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
I see. Like, I think that's like the first time I've heard like them do, or like that way of doing, I guess, Bupon. I don't know if like
Yeah,
I don't know if Asiora does that. I haven't been to Asiora, but like any other big cafe. So
I don't know
interesting.
either.
But with the Taiwan tour, like what city did you like were you performing at? It was not
I,
Taipei, right?
it
Or
was Taipei.
it was
It was
Taipei.
Taipei.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Because like No Face No Reality, they're southern Taiwan, so they don't really perform it in Taipei. Okay. So I was like,
Yeah.
gotcha. Now with that out of the way, do you have any plans to go back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do because I just again it was an amazing experience just meeting all the other groups. Going to other group shows because I did that too. Even for the events that I wasn't participating in, I went to go see quite a few. And everybody being so warm and so welcoming, I immediately went on social media and I was like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And actually, I can't say I
Mm,
can't say exactly when, but it is pretty solid that I am coming back.
I
So
see.
this year. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Gotcha. So working our way back, this is like my first time like doing this. Usually it's just past, present, future, but now it's just present into the past. But like before that, Taiwan, you had a few performances in Japan, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
Actually, after Taiwan, I had some Osaka. It was like an Osaka mini
Oh,
tour that I
okay.
did. Yeah,
So how many performances did you have there?
that was three total Osaka shows. And again, the thing is because of the genre of music that I do, it's quite easy for me to enter any kind of Taiwan. So when I was in Osaka, it was like rock show, and then we had one that was like this really cool mix of like rock bands, like really hardcore guys, and then idols. It was so fun though. I thought it was the most interesting mix, and the crowd, they loved it. Like it was like, well, it was a lot of like standard wotage, but it was also a lot of like wall of death, like and a lot of crowd surfing. That was a fun life. That was a really fun life.
Mm. So like, what was it's like a 15-minute set, right? Or that you did
For those, usually a 20 minute
20
minute
minute.
standard, yeah.
So what did you usually perform?
For that, okay, so because those are one of them was a live band set.
Oh,
That one of them I did with a band. Um, I change up my set list a little bit for that because I think there is a little bit more creative opportunity when I do have the live band there. So I do more, these are songs that I don't necessarily perform at the Idol Taiwans here in the US. So I'll do things like Breathe, I'll do more acoustic like renditions of songs. Like I'll do like a more acoustic rendition of like Idol. I'll do I do I did Bloodline, which I don't Bloodline is very hardcore, and I do want to do it at a US Idol Fest, maybe. But
maybe.
it's definitely these songs are definitely a little more appropriate for like the more rock like Taiwan. So
Mm, I see. So now that you've done Taiwan, you've done Japan, you've done the US, like what are the like main differences in culture and like I guess water culture in there for the different crowd?
I think it's just I think the crowds are generally everybody's generally coming in for the same thing. Everybody just really loves idol culture, but I think it's just like everybody's introduction to it is different.
Right.
So obviously like in Japan, that's you grow up with the culture. That's, everything is very that is the standard. So you have, Bupan culture. You have, everything's done at live houses. They don't necessarily have anime convention culture there for idol shows versus the US where most of the shows are done at anime conventions. And again, in Taiwan, I think it's mostly just live houses there. But I think generally I think it's all the same. We all love idols. We all love idols. We were just introduced to them differently. That's it. And I think idol culture it's growing in the US. Even though it is still smaller than Taiwan's, it's still a little bit small, obviously smaller than Japan. It's growing, and it's growing at an exponential rate. So I think we'll get to the same point. We just need more time.
Yeah, like this scene has skyrocketed, I think, like in 2024.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it's very much a slow build up of like, because like we have like Idol Village, Water-Sans Frontieres, people that are doing stuff on the East Coast. I think there's like there's a Chicago Idol Fest now. West Coast is doing
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff every single like week. But like, yeah, it's starting to grow, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited to see how all of the other performers, I think, grow with the movement because there's so many of us that are super, super, super dedicated to this. Like you said, especially in the last year, like 2024, like onward, people got really serious.
Yeah.
People got really serious about it. So I'm very excited to see like what comes out of that.
I do want to ask if you could only say if you just can just go to one country and only one country, perform in one country only, like where would you perform?
Oh God. Oh, oh man. But I really see. I the U.S. I like. Sometimes I really like the newness of the U.S. just because I feel like I could relax a little bit more. Like the thing is everything being so professional in Japan. It's a job. It's work. It is you're going in and you're clocking in. Not that it doesn't make it any less fun. It's obviously still a creative job. It's still music. You're still enjoying yourself when you're on stage, but it's very professional and everything's very rigid. So I like that, but at the same time, I'm overworked, so I do I like coming back to the US and being at home and seeing all these familiar faces and working with all the people that I'm comfortable with, and not and not feeling like, oh my gosh, like I have to be on my best behavior. Like it's very, very, very strict in Japan. So, oh gosh, if I had to choose, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, I might say America. I might say America, and also because in America it's not so oversaturated. The idol
Right.
scene in Japan is very oversaturated. It's very hard to keep up, because there's so many of us. But I think in the U.S., because it's a newer movement and everything's just starting out, I don't feel as overwhelmed with that. So that's another reason why I think I think
I
I
mean,
prefer
yeah,
the U.S.
you can have a breather here. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
as intense. Like I know
It's
for
a,
like some like JP idols that are working there, it's intense.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's very intense, very very strict. But yeah, for me, for somebody like me who's already very hard on myself personally, I need a more chill environment sometimes.
On the topic of countries, like what are some, I guess, different countries that you want to travel to and perform at?
Oh my gosh, I would honestly everywhere. I want to Europe. I
Europe.
definitely want to visit Europe, and because I've never been, and I'm really big on just like I want to hit every corner of the world. Just to say, that's that's basically my bucket list. Like I want to see everything before I leave this planet. I want to see every corner of the earth. So Europe would definitely be next. Uh, Canada too. Okay, Canada first, because there's a lot of really cool idol groups that have come out of Canada that are have just started in Canada. Like obviously, No Sweet. Like I love them.
Yeah.
They're so cute. There's new groups now that I'm seeing coming out of Canada and Canadian Idol Fest that seem really cool. So I would also like to visit Canada as well.
Yeah. Like I I did that 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 every breathing moment video, like, I just dropped that. And I was like, I was researching, I was looking for Canadian, I guess, idol groups. And there was like, Not Sweet, Kirameki, Palettes, and then, Weathercasters. I was like, okay, cool. So they have a lot of people there. Yeah.
They do. I will put you on some that I found recently. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. There's a couple new ones that are very, very like promising Canadian Idol groups. But yeah, that's next on my list. That is next. And also that video made with I almost cried. I almost cried.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do that. I got bored. I was like, I have a bunch of people's like performance footage. I might as well do something with it.
It was very sweet. We very much appreciate that. We do.
Thank you. But yeah, I guess Taiwan, Osaka. I guess working backwards here. Let's talk about U.S. Idol Fest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
What a day.
That was every time we come back from that. This was last year for us too. We were like, that was a lot. Like, how did we survive that? I don't know. Like, it was. I think actually, the thing is that we did the Northern Lights stage, and that was exciting for me because that was my goal last time. As I said, I did community stage last year. I was like, I want to do Northern Lights next time. So when I hit that goal, I was very excited. And I got there and I was so ready to do my thing and do the performance. And even though things were kind of chaotic, timing was a little chaotic, it was very heartwarming to see that the audience was still just as energetic. They were going at it during Idol Riot. I remember they started like moshing.
Yeah.
Like there was a whole section of the crowd that started moshing. So like even though there was a delay and even though there was some chaos there, people were still showing love and being really sweet and very supportive. So that was nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I remember I was there for Northern Lights. I was there for a sound check. Well, I dropped in because I thought I guess the Idol Fest or the Northern Lights Fest was already happening, but no. I opened the door and everyone's still doing sound check. I'm still staff, but like, oh my god, I was like, whoa. And then I waited in the back, and then I think you did sound check. Everyone did sound check. Like one song. I think you asked for like, you wanted to do 3 songs, but like they were like running there.
I got a verse in. my sound check was literally like 10 seconds on the song. Oh. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they were going because like I think like something screwed up backstage, but yeah, they had to like make do. So
I honestly, I'm not sure what happened. I just know that definitely we were like at that point it was crunch time and we just had to get people in and out for the sound check itself. But yeah, I again, despite all that, I am surprised that people still had the energy to come in there and go crazy. So because of that, I am forever grateful to the crowd for that. Because artists, the people that perform, we feed off that energy. And so if we see that everybody else is having fun, we're gonna have fun. So even though everything was kind of wild and crazy, I was still happy with it. I was still happy with the performance. Yeah.
Because like I was there for like the first half of Northern Lights, and like you performed. I took pictures, but like I still need to edit them. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
But like yeah, like I remember, I think it was the Taiwanese Woda that were moshing. I was like, whoa, cool. Like in the back.
It was them.
I think.
See,
I think it was them.
I couldn't see who exactly it was. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I was just like, "That's amazing, thank you." Like, that's very sweet. Okay, all right. See, thank you, Taiwan. Thank you. I appreciate that. And those are probably the same people that like showed up for the shows when I actually went over there.
Yeah, but
that's very sweet.
Seeing you perform, I guess, from my head. Seeing you perform at US Idol Fest, and then, seeing you from Northwest Idol Fest, there was definitely, during that time, you have, I guess, your stage presence has, like, evolved, I'd say.
I've tried. I'm going from a situation where I have never, again, was not a theater kid, was not involved in anything, music, anything. Until now. I'm starting from scratch. But yeah, through studying the artists that I enjoy, studying the idol groups that I like, and practicing pretty much every single day. That's what I want. I want to improve because I know I'm not a pro. Like I'm just not. This is not something that it's not a talent that I was born with at all. Like it's not, I have to grow it. I have to build it. So it's from scratch. And I hope as I keep going, I'll just get better. I have to keep practicing though.
You also like, alongside your performance at Northern Lights, you also entered the US Idol Fest Grand Prix.
Yeah.
You entered with what song?
I got Idol Riot, because that was
Riot.
the song that I wrote literally like 3 weeks before. That was crazy. I got mad about something. Can I talk about that?
Yeah, why not? You
Okay,
have the floor.
okay.
You have the floor.
Okay. All right. So we were just discussing, we just talked about how things are very strict and very rigid in Japan. And unfortunately, on social media, there's a lot of really strict rules for idols. And I say strict rules, but what I really want to say is it's bullying. Like, it's just straight up bullying. And there's an account that I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want to give them, like, attention or whatever. There's an account that was specifically made on social media just to bully idols. And I saw the account, and seeing it just filled me with so much rage that I ended up writing a song, recording it, making a music video for it, all within the span of a few weeks. And then I was like, I'm gonna submit this to US Idol Fest.
Yeah, like I guess spite definitely is like the best energy to like, or the best motivator, right?
It is. It really is. I was so mad, and I was just, and I realized, I was like, being angry really does help me like accomplish everything.
So you entered, I remember, I think closing ceremony, they were like announcing the winners of the Grand Prix, and you won.
Yay! I wasn't there though. I had to go.
Like, did you get anything for that?
I'm waiting.
Oh.
I'm waiting. I'm giving. No. Listen. Hear me out. The standard for you give like competitions like that. It's like a 90-day like wait period for. But the prize, I don't remember what the prize was for it, but I'm waiting. I'm sure they'll do it. I'm sure they're just busy. And then yeah, I think it's, what is it? It's a cash prize, right?
Wasn't it a gift card? I think, yeah.
It's like a gift card or cash prize, something like that. Gift card or cash prize.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because Tom Strike was like announcing, and then I think they announced gift cards for the winners. So
something like that. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do. I'm just waiting. I'm giving. They got what, 30 more days.
I'll see if I can do something about that.
It's okay. I'm patient. I can wait. I'm being very patient, mostly because I don't even have the time. I don't have the energy to be like, where's my stuff? Because I got too much going on. So I'm like, I'll wait. I can wait. I can wait.
So now that you've done a community stage, you've done a 15-minute set in Northern Lights. Next year, do you plan on coming? And like, do you want to do community? Do you want to do Northern Lights again, or what do you want to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, as hard as I'm going at things, I really want to try to aim to do I want to do a guest appearance, like an actual guest appearance. I know that's like that's obviously a really big goal to set, but I think it's something that I can achieve as long as I push myself, keep working hard, and keep, improving my performances, because I think that's like the most important thing, is I make sure I come out there and really, put on a good show. So I think I want to try to be a guest, because I'm guesting at ISHOCON this month. My first official guest performance at a con. So I think that's something I want to do.
Yeah, because you did the video announcement, I think, for ISHOCON, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's gonna be January 23rd through 25th. I'm participating in their Idol Fest, and then I have my solo show the following day.
Yeah, because I was curious, because you've done both the things that I guess like any idol that attended U.S. Idol Fest or Northwest Idol Fest like have dreamed of. So I was like, what do you want to do next? So
I want to guess. I'm always challenging myself. It's always for me. It's always a challenge. Like, how can I beat the last thing that I did? I even do that with my songs. Like, I'm like, how can I improve, like, the mixing, the songwriting, the lyrics? It's always like a challenge for myself, or a goal that I'll set to just keep improving as much as I can. So that's my next goal.
Segueing into that, let's talk about your music. I guess let's talk about, the biggest thing for now, which is your EP. I think you would call it an EP.
Yes.
I guess that's actually, you know what? Let's talk about it. Your upcoming EP, right? Which is Absurdism. So, what inspired you for the title, and like what would you think is like the main theme of the EP?
Ooh, that is a good question. See, you on good.
I don't know.
You're doing your research. For Absurdism, I think, well, the whole concept of Absurdism is the idea that life is pointless, right? But not necessarily in like a hopeless way, but more so like life is pointless, so you might as well make the most out of it.
Right.
And I think that really embodies the spirit of just like idol activities in general, like just both as an audience member and as a performer. It's this concept of just having fun, even if it seems ridiculous, to other people. Like, of course I assume all the time, from like an outsider's perspective, there's a lot of people that think being an idol, or even being an idol fan, is like weird. Like there's people that are gonna like be judgy and weird, and just say, oh, like, like, why do you like that? Why are you into that? But it's just such a fun, carefree, crazy concept for if you really think about it. And I think that is Absurdism, just doing what I want with my life, no matter what. Because in the end, this is all the point. We're all turning into dust at the end. So I'm gonna do what I want with this, whatever, with the limited time that I have on this earth. I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna be an idol. that's that's just what I'm gonna do. So that's what that is about. It's just the entire, every single song kind of like encompasses this idea of just taking hold of life, especially the title track, Absurdism. Um, I talk a lot about, you know, like society kind of wanting you to just kind of work, you know, until you die, and requiring you to follow all of these unspoken rules. And I just don't, I've never vibed with that. I am a rule breaker at heart. So yeah, that is the CP.
That releases in 2 days?
We got 2 days.
2 days, so very good timing, I guess, to get this interview. How many tracks are on the EP?
We have six total. Hold on. I got Absurdism. I've got Bloodline. I got the Maho remix. I've got Hate Me More. I've got, oh yeah, okay, it's 5. I was like, how many do I have? It's 5 total.
So with that, how long did you, like, I guess, start work on the EP?
Well, oh my gosh, that was all the way before October. I started, so it was January, March, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, it was about September. It was about September. September I started working on it. But the thing is that I actually, because Idol Riot was so spontaneous and so random, and I threw all of my energy into that, I kind of delayed the EP. Super delayed it. Because by then my schedule was, oh crap, well now I have to go to US Idol Fest, and then after that I'm doing Taiwan, and then after that I'm doing Japan. So I was nowhere near my recording booth that whole entire time behind me. So I messed myself up by doing that, but now I'm fine. I finally had a chance to come back, get everything done, finish all the writing, finish all the recording, finish working with my guitarist, and finally now it's finished.
I see. Well, I can't wait for it. I am so happy that, like, it's in 2 days, so can't wait to listen to it.
Yes, I'm very excited for everyone to hear it.
So, I'm trying to think. So let's talk about more of your music and another EP that you've done. Or album? EP? What do you want to call it?
If we're talking about Screamin' Rouge, are we talking about album? Definitely album.
Okay. So with that, 9 songs. When did you start work on that, and how long did it take to completely finish it?
Oh gosh, that was a whole year. That was a whole year, because I kind of formed the concept of the album almost as soon as I started doing this, like, idol activities. I thought, you know, at the very beginning, I said, okay, one of my goals is I want to release an album, and what I wanted that album to encompass. So yeah, it was about a year.
So with that, what would you consider your favorite song on the album?
Ooh, oh my gosh. I think Aitai. I think Aitai is my favorite. Because I'm really big on, like, prog metal and prog rock, and I like math rock and metal quite a bit. Like, in addition, like, I think everybody knows by now, like, I don't only listen to idol music. I listen to everything else. So, like, one thing that I've been obsessing over is math rock and math metal. So I wanted to write something just like that. And it took some help. It took some outsider help. I had a friend of mine help me with the guitar, because a little bit of the writing, it was very difficult for me. But the lyricism that came natural, because I was writing about something that came from personal experience. I had like I infidelity and like cheating and like relationships that went sour because a partner was spending too much time like ogling other girls online. That was like very easy for me to write about. So that came very naturally. But it was fun because I was kind of almost writing it in an idol perspective. Like, oh, only look at me. Like, it was very cheeky. The lyrics are very cheeky. Um, so I think that's my favorite. I think overall it was just a very fun track to work on.
I think, yeah, you performed that at Northern Lights, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was, yeah, because like I remember like the dance motion. I was like, yeah, cool.
It was fun. It's very fun song. And I think a lot of people really like that. Whenever I look at like my Spotify stats or like most popular song, I just keeps getting like bumped to the top. So I'm like, okay.
So you talked about prog metal and math rock, inspiring like that song. But what are some other I guess inspirations for this album in terms of like other musicians?
Well, I think a lot of the writing kind of stems from my love for like my favorite artists. I think a lot of my creative inspiration and the stuff that I listen to regularly like really shines in the album. So one of the tracks that Tenchi no Hane is kind of, I almost want to say like perfume inspired, and they're electro pop. So again, this was like a challenge for myself. I was like, oh, I want to write something that's I wanted to try like electropop because I loved Perfume so much and I've been listening to them since I was like 12 years old, I think. They're huge for me. I love them so much. I'm also very sad that they have gone into a cold sleep, as they say. Yeah.
Indefinite.
I saw them. I watched them on it was like the end of the year, a New Year's special performance, and they like disintegrated on the TV. Yeah, the final performance, like at the end of the performance, they like this like Thanos snapped. I was like, oh hell, I was so sad. I was like, yo, don't do that to me. That was their final performance. But yeah, cold Perfume, I love them. So I wanted to try something Perfume inspired, and then I'm really big. I think I talked to you about this last time. The band Queen Bee. Oh my gosh, Queen Bee is the reason that I have even begun songwriting, creating my own music. Like, just they're a huge inspiration to me. So some of the tracks on there, I think, also kind of show, or kind of represent my interest in their music and the genres that they kind of play with, which is a lot of like shoegaze, rock. But yeah, it's just everything that I enjoy about music, all mixed into one. So it's a very versatile album. There's a lot of different stuff on there.
I see. Well, if we have any new people, I guess, like discovering you, I guess through Northern Lights or through this show, listen to the album.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess let's talk more behind the scenes. You started ground up from last year, like not knowing how to like produce, but now it's been like over a year and some change. Like you are pretty much tenured, experienced. I guess I haven't known any, I guess like a very slim minority of people or idols that like write their stuff but also produce and also just dabble in like music production. But if we have like any idols that are interested in that, what would you tell them? What advice would you tell them?
My gosh. Oh, first thing, don't do this.
Don't.
No. 'Cause, like, you will be tired. You will be very tired. No. I'm joking. It is. I definitely would say, if you know, and I think we talked about this last time. If you understand yourself and you have a very strong sense of self, I think songwriting and writing lyrics is something that will come naturally. If you are determined to be honest with your audience and put your entire self into everything that you do, and you don't want to hold anything back, I think that songwriting is very easy. Because I don't hold any when I write, I don't hold anything back. Even if the subject matter may seem like something that's not very common in like idol music, or something that, maybe a little bit taboo, I still put it in there because I feel like I'm not being true to myself unless I do that. So don't hold back. Make sure that you have a strong sense of self. And then when it comes to production, if you're someone that's just starting out, YouTube is your friend. YouTube, like I day in and day out, I'm still learning. I know you said like you're kind of like a pro. No, I'm still learning. There are things that I am still figuring out. Like the other day, I learned how to make a proper click track for one of my drummers. Like I'm learning so many things by myself, and it's every day is a learning experience. So you're gonna constantly be going on, forums, looking at YouTube. You're gonna be constantly hitting up other art musicians, producers, artists, other idols, looking for help. Like it's a continuous journey, but just keep like I said, keep coffee on hand. Like make sure you get 8 hours of sleep. If you don't, you're gonna be in trouble. But yeah, it's very fulfilling too. I think when you're able to put your entire self into your projects, I feel more satisfied with it at the end. I do.
I see. I like being there, I guess a few months after you debuted, like going like listening to your stuff, and with you pushing out release after release, and like listening to that, you have gone like an idol fan just joins like their Oshi, and like seeing them progress and like improve on like any skills that they round like debut they aren't good at, or they have like baseline, but now like after performance after performance after song, seeing them do that and like improve is awesome. With your songs and your releases, they have gone progressively better and better and better and better and better, and I really hope absurdism is gonna be good, but like you're gonna have like another release that'll like be on top of that, and another release on top of that.
That's what I want. That's like whole thing with me challenging myself. It's really about making sure that I'm continuing to improve. And even with my voice, that's like another thing that I've noticed is getting stronger. Like I started out, again, no singing skills whatsoever. I just knew that I could hold a tune, I guess. I was like, I have that. I was like, okay, that's a good start. But my voice has gotten so much stronger. There's notes that I couldn't hit before that I can hit now without exhausting myself. I can, belt if I need to belt something. I can hold the note longer. I have more stamina when I'm on stage singing and dancing at the same time. So there's been improvements. There's been improvements there too.
Speaking of improvements, and now that it is a new year, 2026, what are some goals you want to achieve in this year?
This year. Okay. Well, I mentioned it a little bit on social media, but I want to hold my first one-man show, like a standalone event. Yes. And not just one. I want to do
multiple.
I want to do multiple standalone. I want to do one on the West Coast. I want to do one on the East Coast. I want to do one in another country, which I won't say which one because I can't say it yet. I'm planning on doing multiple, so that's my goal. That's what I'm gearing up for. Is my first one-man tour. Yeah.
Wow, that the concept of a one man, like having that much, I guess, that power, enough skill to like have your own show, and like, because usually people just it's a Taiwan style, and like there's like 9 other people or 9 other performers, but like having that one man and having that like that extended slot of time to perform is so amazing.
It is. It is. I just wanna. I wanna have a show that I can kind of. Because when you, like you said, when you're doing the Taiwan, it's with other people. So of course you have to kind of negotiate and base your performance, base the entire day kind of on working with other people and making sure everybody else is okay, and making it's not just you, and you don't have creative control over that entire process at all, and that's fair. That's how it should be. But with a one-man show, it's the ability to kind of take control of every aspect of it, because in my head I've always kind of visualized what what is this chérie ifẹ show, what is that, what does that concert look like, from start to finish, and I want to see that come to fruition. So yeah, I think, and I have some very interesting ideas in my head for how that would go, but I do want to do that. I do.
I like last week we had No Face No Reality on, and like doing research on them. They had like 3 one man lives, and like 2 of them are like in full on YouTube. I was like, I'll watch it. And like they have like so many interesting concepts. They talked about it like in their episode. There was a lot of lore in there, but like the different like VTRs or like the the videos in between like each song, it's crazy. So maybe you can do the same thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I want to do something. It's going to be very theatrical. I think that's what it's going to be for me. There is a story I want to tell, and I think with the proper amount of time and planning, I can actually tell the story that I've been wanting to tell for a really long time. So yeah.
So now that you started in 2024, now you're in 2026. Like overall,
actually 2023.
2023.
I just
okay.
realized.
So almost 3 years. How do you feel about your idol journey now? Overall.
I never expected to get to this point, honestly. I didn't think I was gonna go this far. Honestly, every day I like wake up and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm doing okay. I guess I'm doing this. I never expect. I'm happy. Obviously, I'm very happy that I'm making progress. But it's a huge surprise for me that I've been able to grow, in terms of skill and all of the lovely people that I've met throughout this. I've made so many friends. I'm a very like, I don't want to say introverted person. I don't know if this counts as introvert. I love talking to people, but generally speaking, I don't have a problem with being alone. So I do spend a lot of my time like focusing on my work and focusing on the important tasks that I need to do. I'm Capricorn, very, very Capricorn person. If you follow horoscope, zodiac stuff, we are in relationships with our work. That's the stereotype about us.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, but being that person, I've met so many kind, so many like talented idols, people that I definitely would otherwise I would have just kept to myself, and it's like opened my eyes to just how kind the world can be. I think in a situation where everything feels really like iffy and really scary right now, the idol community has really shown me that there is still light in this world. So I think that's my biggest thing coming out of this, is that it's changed my perspective on a lot of things. Because beforehand I was really, again, kept to myself. A lot of like, I mentioned it briefly, I'm not gonna get into it, very like very tricky situation at home. Home life was so I think that idol activities has given me hope again. So I'm very happy with it.
I guess like in line with you as a fan who like discovered this in 2024, and I was like semi rock bottom before that, and like discovering idols and like going like, wow, oh my god, like seeing them perform and like having that energy like shown to you and like it bounces off, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. But like that has definitely shown me like that way of escapism helps, because like the world sucks right now.
It does.
It sucks.
It does. It does.
But like using that as like a gateway to like, you know, have away from that definitely helps.
Yes, yes. And I think escapism is the perfect word. And again, goes hand in hand with the concept of absurdism. I think that's why we're doing this, because none of this none of this matters. So we need to be having fun. Joy, I think joy, the revolution and change cannot come without joy. I think all of us need to experience happiness and joy, and we deserve that. And we still, even while everything's crazy, even while everything's so terrible, I think we deserve to give ourselves time to just experience pure unadulterated joy, happiness. And that's what idol activities gives me. That's what it gives the audience. So that's why I'm still doing it, because I'm happy. I'm very happy here.
You talked about having like or meeting friends through this community, but
Yeah.
who are some inspirations in the Kaigai idol community to you?
Ooh, oh my gosh, I can't. I think Paida. That's the first person I think of is Paida. Her voice is like silky smooth, smooth like butter. Like, she has such a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Great performer. Her concept is very solid. And again, she's another Black woman in J-pop doing her thing. So I think she's always gonna be like my number one, like, huge inspiration. I'm really into right now. I never really like followed a lot of like VTuber activities, but I really love what Rosie's doing, because again, I really love Rosie's voice. You do follow Rosie?
I discovered her like way before US Idol Fest, and then I saw her perform. I was like, cool.
Yes,
But I haven't had her on the show yet, so
I recommend do that. Rosie's really sweet. I think Rosie is also a really great performer. After I also went to go see her performance at US Idol Fest, and she did a really good job. So that was very inspiring. Oh my gosh, Aiden, I really love Aiden because I saw Aiden. They did a performance in Japan, and I went to go see Aiden in Japan, and that was very inspiring, because that was an Idol Taiwan. And seeing them like write their own music. They released their album too, and I was just like, oh my gosh, please. I know that they're on hiatus right now, but I'm looking forward to I want to see the next chapter. I was really inspired by Aiden's work and everything, that all of Aiden's like performances that I saw, because I saw quite a few.
let's see. Yeah. Their album was good. I was like, yeah. So, well, your EP is gonna be on equal par. Is gonna be on equal par. Probably.
Yes.
Maybe. Hopefully. No, I mean, definitely. Yeah.
I hope so. I do not give myself, I have imposter syndrome, so please forgive me. Every time anybody ever like compliments anything, I'm like, really? Like,
oh, you're like me. You're like me. I
yes. I think this is why we vibe. I have bad imposter syndrome, so I'm just like, oh okay.
I think. Oh, okay. Your audio's back. I was like, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're back. But yeah, honestly, I actually like one more question. Mm-hmm. Since I usually ask this, and I'm pretty sure I asked this like last time, but now that you are 2026 Charity, what would you go back in time? What would you tell 2023 pre-debut Sherry? What advice would you give her?
Oh my gosh. I would say, well, I'd probably just tell her the same thing that I tell myself now. It's just, don't give up. Even when things seem really, really tough and it's almost like, you're thinking to yourself, well, why even bother? Why even try? It's all too hard. It's all too difficult. Don't give up. Um, because you finally found something that you enjoy, something that you like doing, even on days when you're really sick, even on days when you're not feeling well, when you have a lot going on, you still find the time to sit down and write. You still find the time to sit down and work on your music on Ableton. You go and you work on your keyboard, you record. You found the thing that you were meant to do. So don't give up, no matter what. Yeah, that's what I would tell her.
Well, 2026, Sherry, definitely did not give up. You are on top of the world.
I'm trying. I'm trying. It gets. I'm telling you. That's the reason why I would say that is because, ooh, Lord, it is. That's why I said don't. If somebody decides that they want to like produce and write at the same time, and I'm just like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? It's a lot. It's a lot. But I love doing it, and that's why I keep doing it, because I love it. I love it, no matter what.
Like, all of your songs have been written and produced by you specifically, right?
Correct. Yes.
Do you have any plans ever to have like anyone else, like, behind the computer, or behind the the pen and paper?
I ideally, yeah, at least for like production and like mixing and stuff. I need some. Like, I think one of the reasons why I do everything by myself is simply because you can rely on yourself. And I know everybody has like different schedules, and everybody's got their own like day jobs and things that they have to do and different deadlines. So I do a lot of this just because I know I'll do it and I know I'll get it done. And again, having control over the entire creative process. But ideally, I would like other people to work. I would like to work with other producers. And just for the simple idea of having other ideas to bounce off each other, I would love to do that. I want to collab. It is time for me to start collabing with other people for sure.
Yeah, like, being in your own bubble is cool, but like, stepping out of that and like actually, I guess, interacting. I mean, like, yeah, collabing with people is definitely something special.
Who would you want to see me work with?
I mean,
I'm curious.
Aiden, Alex Pinku would definitely be two big fits, I'd say. So maybe them.
I'm thinking them too.
Yeah, I'd say like Aiden would be definitely on par with your, I guess, like, your brand of music, definitely.
I think so. I mean, I like Alex Pinku's voice though. I want to do both. I'm gonna just have to like be both of them. Be like, okay, it's time. Let's go.
So, we talked about Ishukan, but like, do you have any other upcoming performances that you can publicly announce?
There's one. Yeah, a Chicago one. That I can't. Yes, there is gonna be another one next month. I cannot give the details yet, but it is a Midwest show. Yeah, a lot of these events I can't really say anything until like a couple weeks before. So, but there's stuff coming. There are more shows coming.
So upcoming performances. Well, I was gonna ask upcoming tracks, but you have the EP. We talked about that.
EP's coming.
I guess after that, do you have like any other plans to release something else afterwards?
Definitely. I'm constantly like writing lyrics, constantly making melodies and just like working on my computer, just making stuff. So I have like a lot of unfinished tracks that I can just complete and put out. I'm always working on something. So there will definitely be another single following the EP soon after. That's how I work.
Wow. I mean, I think this will be the end of the interview. I think we're good on time. So we'll probably have one more thing called The Worst Pep Talk Ever. I definitely did this last time, right? Yeah, I did. But 1 minute, worst pep talk. I don't know why people like this segment. But
I love it.
Nah, I want to get rid of it, but here we go. Cherry, you are, like I said in the intro, you're definitely one of the most unique Kaigai idols in the scene. And your brand of music, and I guess your dedication to like produce your own music and write your own stuff, and like having that, I guess, like output is amazing. But please take a break whenever you can. But yeah, just keep on going with your stuff. I'm so interested in what you do after this, and I'm definitely excited for the EP. But seeing you from your almost after your debut and up to now, it is really amazing to see you just improve and grow as an artist. And if you are doing a one man in the West Coast, hopefully I can attend. So yeah. But other than that, I want to see you, like I said, on top of the world. I think you are on the top of the world. You have a lot of fans, and I want you to have more fans because you are really something special in this scene. So that's it.
Thank you. That I really appreciate that. This is gonna give me the motivation to keep working what I was working on after this. That pep talk, it gave me an energy boost. Thank you.
So if you haven't followed Chérie Ifẹ, follow them on Instagram. Do you have a card? No, you don't have a card. But follow them on Instagram. You can also see them on Twitter and YouTube and Spotify. You did like a Spotify wrapped video, but hopefully you'll get, up there in popularity to have like an official one. So
they wanted me to do one, and then the upload like I had an error, so I was actually able. That's why I put it on social, because it was like you can do it. There's a problem. I was like, okay, but yes. So we do that. My music is everywhere: Spotify, Apple iTunes, everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Chérie Ifẹ, thank you once again for being on the show. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to talk to you again after like a long time. Well, we had small talk at US Idol Fest, but I was like dead tired, so I was like
same. We will. Thank you so much for. I'm glad I could catch up with you, and we will talk more because I feel like I want to actually catch up with you. So.
But yeah, next week I don't have a guest planned, so I have to look for someone, or I can just take a break. But who knows? Because I did last week. I did 2 episodes last week, so
maybe break time.
Maybe
you
who
should
knows?
rest as well.
We'll see. But yeah, VOD will be up tomorrow. I will do the announcement thingy at like 2 p.m. CST on Twitter, on Instagram, and I will definitely tag Cherry. And it'll be on the YouTube channel, IDOLEYEZ 101. 78 episodes, that's crazy. But yeah.
Congrats.
I thought this would be done at episode 10, but people are watching and people are interested. I'm like, okay, let's keep on going.
People, you're just like me. Omerito. You're doing it. You're doing the thing.
And you're doing the thing. So, that'll be it. So take care, brush hair, be kind, rewind, watch the VOD, and we'll be going to the ending screen. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.